This is Katrina, and today I'm at Our Lady of Mount Carmel in the Bronx, New York, and I'm going to be giving you a tour of it today and showing you some of its history.
So this is Our Lady of Mount Carmel Church in the Bronx. I went to it on a Saturday afternoon. It was a beautiful day out, and it was a beautiful church. Our Lady of Mount Carmel is the title given to the Blessed Virgin Mary in her role as the patroness of the Carmelite order. The first Carmelites were Christian hermits living on Mount Carmel in the Holy Land during the late 12th and mid-13th century. Our Lady of Mount Carmel has been a church for over 100 years. In the end of the 19th century and the 20th century, a number of Italian immigrants entered America and started living in New York. Most of the Italians immigrated to the Bronx, especially a place called the Belmont section. The one thing that kept the Italians together was their common language and their faith. The immigrants lived in the Belmont section, and the only church that there was in the northwest section. It was called St. Philip Neri Church, and every Sunday they would travel a long distance to go to this church because there was no other church close by them. As the community grew larger, a committee was formed by Mr. Pietro Sinelli to ask Father Daniel, one of the Italian-speaking pastors, to open a church in Belmont. They decided on making a mission in Belmont, and the first Mass was celebrated by Father Joseph Cafuzzi on June 13, 1906, in a storefront. The upper part of the church was built in 1917, and it was called Our Lady of Carmel. This is where everyone can go to church now in the Bronx. In 1924, Father Cafuzzi, with the aid of the Palatine Sisters, opened a parish school for 205 children. This new school would help all the students get a better education. As you can see in this video, they have many sections of the church where you can light a candle for your own personal intentions, and they have their own separate room for it, actually. The Our Lady of Mount Carmel Parish celebrated their 100th anniversary in 2006. They serve to the Italian community in the Bronx, and they welcome immigrants from Latin America. Our Lady of Mount Carmel went through many renovations, especially a huge one in 2017. They repointed the bricks and they refurbished the window frames. They fixed the front doors and the bells, and they got a new bell tower. The church is built in Romanesque style, and it shows beautiful architecture. There are 12 massive marble columns in the church that represent the 12 disciples. If you look at some of my photos, you can see that there are many saints and disciples on the top of the ceiling in the church. In this video, you can see my best friend's grandma lighting a candle for our own intentions of the church. It was a really beautiful thing to experience. The stained glass windows in the left side of the church facing the altar represent the joyful mysteries of the Rosary and the flight to Egypt. On the right side, the stained glass windows represent some moments of the public life of Jesus and his resurrection. The main altar has images of Our Lady of Mount Carmel, Saint Joseph, Baby Jesus, and Saint John the Baptist. She is surrounded by angels and different saints in this picture too. Also on the altar, the words in Latin in viam rectam ut errant in civitam are taken from Psalms 106:7, saying he led them into the right way, that they might go to a city. There are two side altars. The first side, the right side, is dedicated to St. Anthony of Padua, and the left side is dedicated to Sacred Heart of Jesus. In the church, hanging on the walls, there are the Stations of the Cross, and they are like 3D, so you could see it, and it looks really cool. In this photo, you can see me in the church. It's a little blurry, but that's me. And then the next photo that's going to be popping up, it's of the ceiling in the church. It's of the saints and the 12 apostles. And this is the altar and the beautiful picture on top. My favorite part of the church was the glass stained windows. I thought it was really beautiful and it really inspired me. And I'm really happy I got to travel to this church, to the Bronx, and see how beautiful it really was in real life.